everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. Both quarterbacks have reliable tight ends they know they'll be able to count on to make plays. It's the Bears going up against the Eagles. With that, it's time to hook up with our commentators in the booth as we turn it over to Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Okay, Larry, thank you. We are just off I-95 at the home of the Eagles, Lincoln Financial Field on the south side of Philadelphia. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Chicago Bears and the Philadelphia Eagles. Hi again, everybody. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we saw Larry focus on the tight end matchup in his open. You think it's one to watch, don't you?
Definitely one to watch because these guys can create such big plays by all the different things they can do. Line up out wide, in the slot, line up in a normal tight end position, and then who are you going to cover them with? Is it a linebacker, a defensive back? They create mismatches all throughout the game.
The veteran kicker, Robbie Gould, set to get us started. And off we go from Lincoln Financial Field. On the return now, it's Josh Huff. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be led out by the former Heisman Trophy winner and #1 overall pick from Oklahoma. It's Sam Bradford.
And Sam Bradford, he has touch and accuracy, and he has it in bushels. This guy is amazing. If you watch him throw 7-on-7 or watch him throw routes versus air, the ball hardly ever hits the ground. He's absolutely a receiver's dream when going out for a pass.
On the ground, the first carry for Ryan Matthews. And he's got this one just across midfield to the 49. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Now Bradford on second down. Ertz over the middle. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Give him 6 on the play there. And the Eagles are going to have a first down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
So the offense readies for a 2nd and 4. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one down to the 36. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards. And it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more. And the tight end, Zach Ertz, is key in this offense as we get a look at the starters.
Comes out of the factory known as Stanford, which keeps putting out tight ends. Zach Ertz, one of the better ones we've seen in recent years. Looks like a nickel set here defensively on 3rd and 2.
Yeah, maybe expecting a throw. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Well, there they went blitz defensively, Charles, and things were paved well coming from the linebacker position.
I love the way that you described it, paved well. Oftentimes, the guy who gets home on the blitz, he's going to get all the credit. But his teammates did all the dirty work, right? They ran into people on purpose. They sometimes tugged on jerseys to hold linemen to create space and gaps. And that play finished off really, really well. Well conceived, well designed, and even better executed.
That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and this will remain a scoreless game.
I tell you, it's not easy kicking field goals in the best of conditions. You add in a downpour like we're in right now, it makes it that much harder. And sure enough, they can't convert here.
The first carry for the tailback, Jeremy Langford. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
Now it's 2nd and 7. They keep it on the ground with Langford. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. The Pro Bowler Fletcher Cox there to get him down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Offense coming up, needing 2 yards on 3rd down. They'll try to run for the first with Langford. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
And, partner, when you run the ball on 3rd and 2, you're telling the whole world you've got nothing but confidence in your offensive line and your runner, and you expect to get it. But they were stuffed on that play, only got 1 yard. Great job by the defensive front, the linebackers, everyone got involved to force a 4th down.
Now, Pat O'Donnell, he's in familiar territory. Did his collegiate punting in this stadium for the University of Miami. He's on to kick it away. Back deep is Darren Sproles. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Get a little closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
They begin the drive with Ryan Matthews. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
1st down and 10 now for the offensive group. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. The starting 11 defensively for the Bears.
Pernell McPhee's a strong run-stuffing outside linebacker who's beginning to blossom as a pass rusher.
So the offense looking at a 2nd and 8. They'll run it now out of the gun. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. They give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
It's really come into vogue to talk about the different gaps that the defense tries to attack in an offensive line. And most of the time we're talking about blitzes. How many times have you heard double A-gap blitz? But where is the A-gap? It's the space between the center and the guards, either side. So when you're having a double A-gap blitz, that's two guys coming through that gap. In this situation, though, that A-gap wasn't open for the defense to exploit. The offensive line took care of it, protected it, and moved the defensive guys out of the way to allow for that nice run.
A good pickup there, 26 yards. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter.
Here we go. Green 90. Green 90.
Now it's the all-purpose back. This is Darren Sproles. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
A 1-yard gain can look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
Again, they'll run it. Again, it's Sproles. And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
The defense won that play so fast that I think if the running back even had time to notice if anyone was there, it was just a blink of an eye, and there was a loss on the play.
Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down.
Here we go now. Green 90. Green 90.
Play fake to Sproles. Bradford surveying the field. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Pernell McPhee with a big-time sack on 3rd down. And it'll be a loss of 7. And there they bring pressure from the inside, and they get home.
Yeah, hard to block everyone, isn't it? And on this play, someone did not get blocked. He's the one who got home.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This from 54 yards away. And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good, and this will remain a scoreless game. So it's a 2nd missed field goal here in this first half. He'll have to think about that going forward. Maybe time for a little soul-searching as well.
Yeah, the head coach might be looking towards the heavens because you wonder if this will affect the 4th down decision-making going forward. If you get 4th and 3, 4th and 4, situations that used to be calls for the kicker might get a second thought.
The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3 and out.
And now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. The lone set back is Langford. He's going to get the football. And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4. Tackle made that time by Brandon Graham.
It's been a struggle this entire game trying to move the ball on the ground. But every now and then you find a little chink in the armor, and that type of run right there lets them know that they can't stop every single run for almost no gain.
On second down, Langford trying to run inside, but nothing there. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be third down. Great play there off the end. Question, Charles, in a 4-3, you hear about the D tackles a lot. What's the role of the ends?
What they want to do is control the edges of the defense. And you always hear about an offense talking about setting the edge in the running game. Well, the defense wants to do exactly the same thing. And the defensive end, often against an offensive tackle, sometimes a tight end, they can't let themselves get a hook and let a running back get outside, because if they do that, that hurts the integrity of the defense overall.
My man, the encyclopedia.
On third down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
So the run gets them the first, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs. On the counter, Langford. And he stopped immediately there. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility?
Langford again, and he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
2 plays in a row, the defense won, stacking up the running game. They've got to feel good about themselves, but something has to be in the back of their minds. Are we being set up for something big? They've got to be careful.
The defense in an enviable position here. The offense needs 13 yards. It's third down. Play action. It's Cutler. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And incomplete, almost intercepted. Had a great shot of picking that off in the end zone. And now fourth down.
Not only did they drop what looked like an interception in the end zone, they blew a golden opportunity to shift the momentum.
So on fourth down, on comes Robbie Gould in the field goal unit for the Bears. Spotted at the left hash, this from 45. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and it's 3-0. The Bears hit the scoreboard first. So a little fortunate there, because that one was definitely leaking right.
Without a doubt, maybe about the width of a football or so inside that right upright, but he got it to go.
Now it's Gould after splitting the uprights to kick this one away. Here's Huff to return. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team, because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points.
Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Akeem Hicks in there to get him for a loss of 5.
There's a little bit of defense right there. Nickel set, 5 defensive backs. They just snuffed out every route that was going. Quarterback never got rid of the football.
second down. Ryan Matthews. And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line.
That was another good run, and he's having an excellent day. And right now, I don't think his team could have any more confidence in handing him the football.
Still 9 yards to go on third down.
Here we go. Green.
On third down, Bradford goes underneath for Sproles. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Clock running, under a minute to go now here in a fast-moving first quarter.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
10th carry now for Ryan Matthews. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe. Pernell McPhee in there on the stop.
Well, that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Bradford now from the 50. And the ball's caught. Aguilar right side. And he's brought down. So just a lone field goal in this first quarter of play. 3-0 is our score, and we're back to Philadelphia after this. Back live with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Eagles with the ball here to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. They come up in an offset eye. Now a handoff here to his running back. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Second down following the run.
Ready. Green 90. Green 90.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Seventh play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6.
Here we go now. Green 39.
Bradford from the gun on 3rd down. Ertz has it left side. And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. Give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
And the 8th play on this drive coming up.
Here we go now. Green 90. Green 90.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll push his way up to about the 14. A gain of 3, 2nd down. Two minutes gone by, second quarter.
Here we go. Blue 45. Blue 45.
Second down, Bradford. This will be caught at about the 6. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Josh Huff, a 14-yard touchdown. And the Eagles have taken the lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts. bounce, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Caleb Sturgis now for the point after. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And the gadget play gets him into the end zone. Now after the touchdown, it's Sturgis to send it away. Set to return now. Here's Deontay Thompson. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6.
Now, that's a run that warms a play caller's heart because you're actually set up to do whatever you want on offense. You can come right back and run essentially the same play because you have momentum, or you can fake that running play and throw something deep over the top, or you now feel like you have an extra down to play with because if you go ahead and just throw it and you don't get it, come back and try and pick it up on 3rd down.
10th carry now for Jeremy Langford. Only a yard on the pickup, so a good situation on 2nd and 2. It's now 3rd and 1. And the defense searches for one more stop here after the run on 2nd down. And I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. This is Langford. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
And, partner, in a lot of short yardage situations, you'll see the linebackers step up into the gaps, what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, to make sure they take away all spaces, all creases. That one worked really well for them.
They only needed a yard, instead went backwards. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now defensively, you've almost got to get down into those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get lower than those guys on offense and find a way to roar through them or around them to get into the face of the passer.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they've got to try something because right now they're just cutting them to shreds.
They'll come out in the pistol. And he'll give it here to his running back. And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. 3 yards on the pickup there, and they've got it back to 3rd and 10. So they run it on second down. Now let's see what third down brings here for the offense. A play fake. Bradford. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
So on fourth down, the Eagles will call on the left foot of Donnie Jones to punt it away. Deep for the Bears, it's Mark Mariani. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Bears offense now heading back out onto the field, and they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Second down and 4. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that plan any down.
Throwing now, Cutler on first down. On the right side, this is Miller. A gain of 6 there on first.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
Second down now after the pass completion. Cutler to Langford on the draw. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of 1, and all of a sudden here it's third down.
I'm getting the sense that Fletcher Cox is making offensive linemen want to take the week off when they have to play against him.
It's a regular routine for him, isn't it?
It really is. That play there, that's him all day long. Good luck trying to block him and keep him from disrupting your offense.
And the Eagles will go with an extra DB here as they prepare for a stop on third.
Thinking pass all the way.
Now Cutler looking to throw. And he's going to go down way back at the 42-yard line. Brandon Graham in there to drop him for a loss of 10. And it'll be 4th and long. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback, because he had no chance to block him.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for Chicago. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Well, they held them to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at them. So how do you stop a jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
Blue 45. Blue 45. Hunt.
Play fake to Matthews. Now Bradford. He's got time. On the grab, it's Reuben Randall. And he's brought down after a good gain. A good pickup there on 20 yards.
And when an offense is doing a nice job selling the play-action pass, a lot of responsibility shifts to the linebackers. They're the ones that have to determine run or pass and get to the proper places on the field.
And now a first down following that long gain. Now a play fake here on first down. And oh, look at that, a diving catch. 22 yards on the pickup there. And it'll be first down Eagles.
Hey, did you have one of those backyards that you had one of those like mats or pits like you have for high jumpers? And you know, you had your friends throw the ball and you tried to make the spectacular catches?
I didn't need a mat.
you just did it with the ground?
Absolutely.
That explains your
concrete.
That explains your toughness right there, because I think that guy was raised just like you. What a catch.
They go play action here on first down. And Salek here left side. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Second down, just 1 yard to go. To the air again with Bradford. Left side caught by Matthews. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line.
And those first downs do add up. The offense keeps the ball moving downfield and keeps their defense on the bench, giving them a chance to rest.
Fresh set of downs here. They'll give it to him right up the gut. Down right around the 25. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Now that's the type of play that'll fire up a defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a first down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all, or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23. Big Eddie Goldman there on the tackle.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
On third down, Bradford. A dump off to Sproles. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
And the 8th play on this drive coming up. Here's Sproles. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this. A reminder coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will join us from Orlando with our halftime report, but business to take care of before that. Now a second down throw for Bradford. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down. Now that screen there on second down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying it is one thing. We can second guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize it is broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the first down on third down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
This will be caught at about the 5. Now the Bears electing to call a timeout defensively. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. So now on is Caleb Sturgis for the Eagle field goal. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And Sturgis able to knock it through. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. And Charles, they get the field goal. Took them a dozen plays, though.
Work with me on this one. You know what I'm about to say, right? Bend but don't break. That's what came into play here for the defense. 12 plays were run at them. They only gave up 3 points. In a lot of ways, that's a win for the defense.
Now it's Sturgis converted on the field goal. Now he'll send this one away on the kickoff. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. And they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time, which is punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense is taking care of them in a lot of ways. Now it's time for the offense to jump things up and help their defense out. Give them a little bit of rest.
It's time for them to give them a rest. Took the words right out of my mouth. Checks it underneath to Langford. And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. Still in search of the first down after that last completion. So 3rd and 7 and an extra defensive back on the field here.
Definitely want to play coverage here.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. And the Eagles are going to go ahead and take another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. Here's Pat O'Donnell now. He's been terrific so far. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Sproles, the return. No, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle it.
Good blocking there. Nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Eagles take possession. The Eagles coming out as they get ready. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
toe
that.
Bashed it.
Super toe.
Bradford on first down. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. On second down, Bradford again. It's caught by Randall. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
To throw, Bradford. He finds Matthews. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes a timeout. And now we're set to get going. So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. And Sturgis able to knock it through, and they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3. So they were able to move the ball into the red zone, but they'll wind up coming away with just 3.
Yeah, 32-yarder. That's equal to an extra point nowadays, and those are no problem for an NFL kicker.
Now it's Sturgis converted on the field goal. Now he'll send this one away on the kickoff. This is taken at the 3. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game as we'll send you down the coast to Orlando where we check in with our friend Larry Ridley and the EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry?
So let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. Third down from inside the 30. They're going to come away with another sack. This will go for a loss of 7. Now 1st and 10 with plenty of pressure this half and another sack. This will go as a loss of 5. Now later on the drive, Bradford connects on a pass into coverage, and it ends up working for a touchdown. They're now on top by 4. Bears, here they have it at the 47. Graham's going to push his way to the QB here. This will go as a loss of 10. That'll do it from our EA Sports Studios. Let's send it back up to Brandon and Charles in Philadelphia.
So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Quarter starts with a run by Jeremy Langford. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
8 yards to go here on 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line's just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Play action. It's Cutler. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
And no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. 46 yards on the boot. The coverage holds him to just 3 on the return. And the offense will come back onto the field for the 1st and 10. Again, we'll see the pistol here.
Green, 90.
They go play action here on first down. Hits his target, Reuben Randall. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground.
Here we go.
Play fake to Matthews. Now Bradford. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
And they're just a couple of yards shy of a first down here on third down.
Here we go now. Green, 90. Green, 90.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10.
Black 58 rail. Black 58 rail.
Now a 20th carry for Ryan Matthews. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Face mask penalty, and Charles, you were a defender. You know sometimes in the heat of the moment, it's hard to keep your hands away from that face mask.
Sometimes you just get out of position as a defender when you're trying to make a tackle, so you end up flailing away, and your hand gets into the wrong spot.
So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. And they'll run it here. And the lane closes up quickly as he'll get about 3 down to the 38. Here we go with 2nd and 7. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got room. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Whether it's what we call an even front or an odd front, and an odd front's real easy to figure out. If that guy is lined up over the nose of the center, typically that's an odd front defense. Odd number of people, meaning 3-4 versus the 4-3, which is an even front. You've got to control those guys in the middle. Whether it's the nose or the 2 defensive tackles in a 4-man front, if those guys can't get moved, you cannot run the ball in the middle of the field. And in that play, they were able to actually take care of business.
False start, offense.
So the penalty by the offense, and now they face a 1st and 15.
Here we go now. Green, 90. Green, 90.
And once again, they go with Sproles. And down inside the 15 he goes. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down.
That's another nice run, and I have to tell you, some of the coaches that I played for, their philosophies were always different when they see a guy running the ball well. Some of them wanted to immediately go to play action and throw it now because it's wide open. While other coaches said, you know something? Until they stop him, that big boy's going to keep getting the football. And that might be the direction that they're going to go right now.
So the run moves the chains, and here we go on first down.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll run it. Now a hit, and the ball comes out. Bradford has lost it, and this is picked up by the Bears. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
They'll run with Langford to begin the drive. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Yeah, that wasn't a big run, just a short one there. But guess what? Sometimes you treat it like boxing. You throw that jab out there, and you throw it again, you throw it again, then you come with a big punch later. Maybe they're just trying to set them up.
Langford again, busy man this afternoon. Back-to-back one-yard runs here, so that leaves him with a 3rd down and 8. On 3rd down, Cutler. And he goes out of bounds across the 40-yard line. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22.
Wow, I can't help it. When I see Jay Cutler throw the football and throw one like that with a big completion, I can't help but be impressed.
His arm strength, such an asset, huh?
It really is, because it gets him in trouble sometimes, but I think it gets him out of trouble more often than that.
Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
Third down and 3. Cutler now to throw on 3rd down. And this is going to be incomplete. Eddie Royal is intended target, and it's now 4th and 3. Here's Pat O'Donnell now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he'll keep this one away from Sproles as this is angled toward the sideline. That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off. And he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt. Very tough spot here for the offense to start.
Here we go.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And a short pickup here as he'll get across the 10 to the 11-yard line. Danny Trevathan there to bring him down.
Well, praise has to go to the guys in the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
The evaluation process in today's NFL does not take into account as much bulk as it does speed, and that's what we're seeing with the linebacker position. Those guys that can run, they can play at any spot because they can make plays on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage.
And defensively, it's a nickel formation here on third down and 9.
Green 39. Green 39.
On third down, Bradford. And that's caught. Did he stay in bounds, though? He did not. Ruled incomplete. A third down, he tried to stay in bounds, did all he could. He caught it, but was led a little bit too far.
Yeah, and that's always difficult, isn't it? Because you know half of your body is trying to stay behind while the other half is reaching out, trying to catch the football. The top half worked. It was the bottom half that was in question.
46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. Here's Mariani. Good coverage there. An even 50-yard punt leads to a return of 5. And the Bears take over. The drive starts with a carry by Langford. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43. The veteran Connor Barwin in on the stop. The lone setback is Langford. And they'll give it to him here. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Back-to-back one-yard runs here, so that leaves him with a third down and 8. A nickel back added defensively as they look to stop this third and 8. Play action. Cutler. He's got time in the pocket. And that is incomplete. Alshon Jeffrey, the intended receiver. And it's fourth down. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for Chicago. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. They'll run it now out of the gun. Room here to run. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
But really, that was no surprise there. They've been running it well all game. And I know goals change all the time, but any team will take that type of run each and every time.
5 yards left for the offense. It's second down.
Now Bradford on second down.
Ertz has it left side. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Two yards to go here on third down.
Here we go. Green, 39. Green.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's fourth down.
It's not always as straight as that team wanted it more than the other, but on that play, it actually was true. They were faster to the ball.
Here's Donnie Jones now as he's on to punt for Philadelphia. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Now Mariani. 12 yards on the return that time. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. They'll try to get the ground game going with Langford. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38. Michael Kendricks, the linebacker, there to get him down. The lone setback is Langford. Now Cutler. On the right side, this is Miller. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. This is Langford on 1st and 10. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll make it 3rd and 13.
And that was a big-time play by the defense because everything was set up for the offense to be successful. Nickel package, you run the draw, you expect to get a big guy out in space on a smaller defensive back to block him. That didn't happen on this play.
Offense working with a 3rd and 13 still left. They isolate Jeffrey to the left side. Now Cutler on 3rd and long. Finding time. He hits Rodgers in the flat. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for Chicago. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. And they'll go with a ground attack here. They had a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. Give them a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
Second down, 8. Another pistol look here. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
And that's why you see so many teams play a 3-4 defense, because that set gives you a lot of flexibility about where to bring pressure from, and it's hard for an offense to pick it up. Left side, right side, up the middle, especially with some really flexible linebackers.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's the Eagles in possession of the football and leading this one as we get ready to start the final quarter. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
The Bears have put an extra defender in the secondary on 3rd down.
Yep, they're in the nickel. Bradford now. Left side, caught by Matthews. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead. Confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish, because strategy would tell you run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
So the offense now dealing with a 2nd and 7. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. And bringing it in, this is Selleck over the middle. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. So here we go, 1st and 10 now.
Green 39. Green 39.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Here we go now. Blue 45. Blue 45.
Now a 2nd down throw for Bradford. He finds Aguilar over the middle. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. And defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. Look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead, clock on their side, instead of running it, they're still throwing it, trying to pick up first downs and keeping the football.
So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels.
Here we go now. Blue 45. Blue.
Bradford on first down. It's caught by Aguilar. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
Blue 45. Blue 45.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
When a coaching staff sees their team run the ball this successfully in the fourth quarter, they're really excited because you can plan for a running game all you want and want to press that advantage when you get it. But for the most part, it's a little bit of a surprise. And right now, they've got to keep that going, want to continue to grind out the clock because it's definitely in their favor at this stage of the game. Can they close the game out and continue to do exactly what we just saw there? And that's run the football.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Fighting him off.
Just ran right through the trash.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
I know you're trying to wring every yard out of a run, but I think 9 yards there is ideal in this situation.
Yeah, now next couple plays, you only need 1 yard. Keep that clock rolling with a lead here in the fourth.
Yeah, what you're saying is maybe if it takes you 1 or 2 more runs to get the first down, that's extra time, extra plays, really hurts the team on defense.
Now Bradford on 2nd down. This will be caught at about the 6. 4 yards on the play, and that leads to the 1st and goal. And a really long drive here, and it goes on and on.
Here we go. Green 39.
From the gun, Bradford surveying the field. Oh, no, he lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
A long drive here. Play 12 coming up for the offense.
Here we go. Blue 45. Blue 45.
2nd down, Bradford. And his throw is incomplete. Chris Gibbons was the intended target, and it'll bring up 3rd down. Long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field.
Ready. Blue 45.
3rd and goal, Bradford. He's got time. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. Jordan Matthews, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Eagles add on to their lead. And a touchdown there to help them expand the lead.
All you're looking for is as much separation between you and the other team as possible. They've got to feel good about what that touchdown gives them.
Now Sturgis on to add the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. That one was an extended drive, 14 plays all told. The result, Philadelphia in the end zone. Now after the touchdown, it's Sturgis to send it away. The return will come from Sonoris Perry. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. They isolate Jeffrey to the left side. Throwing now, Cutler on first down. He was looking for Zach Miller as tight end there. And it's second down. Second and 10 now. It's Cutler. Completion left side to Miller. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Charles, I know it's hard when live bullets are flying, but you cannot keep your hand up around the face mask area.
It is absolutely inexcusable nowadays. We talk about target areas all the time. You have to aim lower so that your hand doesn't get involved in the face mask.
After the penalty, it's Langford. He chucks him aside.
Dumped him.
And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
Well, depending on the temperament of the head coach, he's either turning to the bench and screaming, "Where was that all game?" Or maybe he's just kind of keeping it to himself and saying, okay, it's something to build on, and a positive comes out of a bad game because those are going to happen from time to time. We'll see how he gets his team ready to go in the future. But that run right there, that's what they were looking for.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. On first down, it's Cutler. Now Cutler in trouble. He lost the football. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but if the other team doesn't get it, that's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
So the offense avoids disaster, keeps possession. Now it's second down. A handoff, Jeremy Langford. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. Call it no gain there, and they've got a ways to go now on third down.
But he was stopped on that play. He's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on third and long. Now Cutler on third and long. He hits Rodgers in the flat. Give him 9 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath by all means.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This from 54 yards away. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. The Bears defense gearing up as they take the field. And maybe for them at this stage, it's sort of put up or shut up time. They need to stop trailing here.
Oh, I'm with you totally on that one. They've got to go out there now and put an end to what's been going on in this ball game where they've just given up points, got pushed around, so to speak, during this contest. They've got to find a way to end it right here, right now.
Can they end it? Let's find out.
Ready, blue 45, blue 45.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
So the offense has it 1st and 10. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he's going to take it down to about the 35 here. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short.
Not an ideal spot to be on 1st down, but I love that the play caller did not immediately abandon the running game and say, okay, we've got to throw it in order to pick it up. Stayed with the run, was rewarded with a big-time pickup. Now they're in 2nd and manageable.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. Now a 2nd down throw for Bradford. Hits his target, Reuben Randall. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs. They'll run it now out of the gun. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Second down following the run. Now Bradford on 2nd down. He's got time in the pocket. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. Call it a gain of 3. And that's going to lead to a 3rd down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make him make someone miss in the open field.
They got to get to the 23 here on 3rd.
Here we go now. Blue 45. Blue 45.
Now it's Sproles. And he's going to get the 1st down as they bring him down at the 23. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up 1st downs.
So it'll be 1st down here after the run.
Here we go now.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Sproles lost the football. And I think the Bears have recovered. They have.
All these year as we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
Onto the field now come the Bears. And the last time that they were on the field, a little demoralizing. Missed field goal. You know, always feel like you want to get it in the end zone, but then, oh, well, at least we're going to get 3. Didn't go through the goalpost, though.
It does test the mental processes of a team, though, doesn't it? Because when you miss a field goal, it's amazing how fast they want to turn on the guy kicking the ball. But you need to keep his confidence up because how many times have we seen games where it comes down to the stretch? And guess what? You need that guy to make the big kick for your team to move on or to win a game. Make sure you keep him happy. Make sure you keep him comfortable.
I'm sure you always treated the kicker nicely, though, right?
You know, truthfully, I did.
Good.
I always did because those guys, they won us a whole lot of games.
On 1st and 10, it's Cutler. Dumps it into the flat to Langford. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. They'll throw on 1st down with Cutler. He's got the hook up to Miller. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. And they're going to speed things up here. To throw again is Cutler. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's 3rd. Incomplete pass on 2nd down. Let's see what the offense draws up here on 3rd. On 3rd down, Cutler finding time. Shakes off the sack. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And welcome back, the offensive unit. They took the timeout, and now they get set to line up as we resume action. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Here we go. It's Cutler on 4th down. Surveying the field. Now a desperation throw. And this is caught inside the 5. An unbelievable play there on 4th and long. 54 yards.
Well, we know that someone has absolutely no fear. 4th down. They throw it downfield. That ball was competed for by both the defender and the guy catching it, and he comes down with it. Now they got 1st and goal. What a big-time play.
Now Cutler. He's got time. This will be caught at about the 5. 1 yard is a gain there. It'll bring up second down. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. On second down, here's Cutler. And that's going to be incomplete. Jeremy Langford, the one he was trying to get it to. And that takes us from second to third down. They got to have 6 here. It's third and goal. On third and goal, Cutler got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. Josh Bellamy from 3 yards out, and the Bears cut into that lead.
And that touchdown puts us in a position to have a discussion, doesn't it? Now it'll be a 2-score game after the conversion.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt with a 2-score game they're going to have to onside kick it. We'll just see if they've got a miracle up their sleeve.
And you wonder what onside kicks they're going to use and in what sequence if they hope to have a chance to win this game.
It's up. It's good. That'll make the scoreline 20-10. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And the end result is a Bears touchdown. So 2 scores down. Time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And the Eagles hands team able to cover it up. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. Here comes the Bears defense now back out onto the field. They recovered the fumble last time. 3 turnovers for them in this game. They've been, that word opportunistic comes to mind, right?
Exactly right. And you know guys on defense, they say the turnovers, the offensive guys call them turnovers. We call them takeaways. We go get them. And that's exactly what they've done in this game.
The former DB making sure you know their takeaways on the defensive side.
Takeaways, man.
Here we go now. Blue 45.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And now the Bears going to signal for another timeout. That'll be their second, so 1 more chance to stop the clock here, and we'll be back. And he'll give it here to his running back. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. And with a 3rd and 13 here, the defense in a dime look. The Eagles in the victory formation as they take a knee. Here's Donnie Jones now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. Now it's Cutler. He's going to let it fly. And nearly picked off there, and it would have been a great time for their first pick. Instead, it's 2nd down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. Throwing now is Cutler. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Brandon, what we just saw there is something we hear from coaches throughout the league. How are you going to defend what they call the moment of truth ball, meaning a 50-50? The ball's in the air, defender's there, receiver's there. Who's going to make a play on the football? And in this case, the defensive guys actually got it done and knocked it away.
And the offense looks to pick up the first here on 3rd after that incompletion. One last shot for Cutler. He's going to let it fly. And this is dropped and incomplete. Well, there's a metaphor for how this one is gone as time has run out on this ball game. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. The Eagles are winners here as we say so long from Philadelphia.